Hey there, thought we'd take a quick look at the newest design called Aeon and just take a look at the layers and some of the options that are available in here and kind of walk through doing the color changes and things like that. I think you'll find there's nothing difficult in here and everything's pretty standard, but just to take a look, this is how the template loads up. And so right off the bat, to point out, there's a couple of themes kind of built in, so like this dark theme and light theme, and these are just grouped together, and so these can be enabled. So right now it comes default with the dark theme enabled, so if you wanted the light theme, it's as simple as turning on this light theme group. And of course for the bottom effect here, we can just disable the dark theme, enable the light theme, and so it's a quick change like that, just to go from dark to light. But now inside of these themes are some options in here for some color changes and for the sports graphics and things like that. So let's expand this group here and we'll scroll down. So we'll see that right at the top here, here's our text, and this is text that kind of wraps this circular graphic. So it's simple text layer, double click, and we can type in here anything that we want to put. If you wanted it to wrap, you could play with doing some spaces and just repeating. Really anything that you like the look of there, you could type it in a simple text. And of course the fonts for that, the links for those are listed on the product page. So there's our text layer. If we drop down, we've got some kind of particle effect in the top here. And then you'll notice the next group here called the sports balls, and again this is for the dark theme. So if we expand this, you're going to find all of the various balls that are available in here. So softball, we could turn on baseball, we've got tennis, golf, basketball, soccer, volleyball. Then we kind of did something for football. Since it's an odd shape, we did kind of a round graphic, but then we also put in the standard football shape. And of course that could be rotated or turned or anything. Then we put some AFL footies in here. So again, another, because it's an odd shaped ball versus the circular, we did a kind of a footy round graphic here, and then the ball itself. And then we did a little wrestling graphic to put in here as well. So let's just turn basketball on for now. We'll collapse this down. We'll keep taking a look here. So then we got some what I call the upper background graphics here. So these are the graphics that kind of encapsulate the sport graphic here. And there's some different ring effects and everything just to give it that specific look. So we'll leave that group. And then there's a circle here, and again that's just to affect kind of the luminosity behind everything here. So a lot of that's kind of pre-staged stuff that you don't really need to tweak. But the one thing you are going to want to change is the colors. Say to match a school uniform or logo or something like that. So let's turn on a subject here. So we'll collapse this and I'll turn a subject layer on. So I've got a subject tossed in here. And let's look at the difference between, first thing I like to do is look at, do I like the dark or the light here? So here's the dark. Here's what it looks like on the light. And I think, I like that high key look with him with the white jersey, white background. So let's work with the light theme here. But what I want to do is I want to set these colors to kind of match the school colors here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the light theme group. And when it comes to color change, what we're looking for is the hue saturation adjustment layers that are attached to some of these groups and layers. And you're going to recognize them one by the thumbnail right here. This is what the hue saturation looks like. And you're going to see that they're clipped. So here's one, and they're also going to be labeled here: lower graphics color, upper graphics color, ball line color, particle color. So they're labeled as to what these layers are doing. So if we want to change color, say of these lower graphics, where we're going to enable this hue saturation, you're going to see it automatically changes this color. But now what we need to do is match this to our subject layer. So what I would recommend doing, if you want to get an exact match, of course you could just come in and select this, and you could come play around with your HSL values and try and get this tweaked into something that matches. So you could do that by eye. If you want to do like a color sample, what I would recommend is turning off the color grading layers. So now we just get the color as it was brought in. And then we could pick the color picker tool and then just pick one of these maroon colors here. Well, let's go down to our subject. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so we could pick a maroon color here, and you can see that shows the sample color we have. Let's bring up our swatch, and let's just take this hex value that's highlighted here. I'm going to copy this number. There's a handy little tool website, and it's hslpicker.com. And so what that allows you to do is drop right down here into our hex value. We can paste that number in, and it's going to give us all of our HSL values for that color. So we're looking at 344, 38, 23. So let's come back here. 344, 38, 23. Let's come down to our graphics. 344, 38, minus 23. And so once we plug those numbers in, you can see that gives us the color value that we're looking for there. And those are going to richen up once we turn our color grade back on. And so let's work with the upper graphics as well. We're just going to do the same thing, so it's just that same process. So your upper graphics color, we can turn that on here. And you could sample, you know, that even that yellow, just to show you the same process again. We'll turn the color grading off. We'll grab the color picker. Let's make sure our subject's selected. So if we come into that yellow, I'm just going to click and drag. And if you have trouble, of course, you could always zoom in close. Get back to our color picker tool here. And then click and drag right there. Copy our value. Click OK. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. We'll come over, hit our website here. We'll paste in this value. So now we got a 37, 80, and 46. So on this graphic, let's say 37, 80, and 46. I believe that's a negative 46. Oops. Let's redo that. There we go. And so that would be how you would match up specific values. And of course, you could always tweak these. Like, I think visually, I'd just like that to be a little bit lighter than what that value came back as. Let's turn our color grades back on. And so same thing with the ball graphic. So here's the sports balls. We got the line color, which is going to affect the lines on the ball. We can turn this on. And again, you could tweak this by hand. You could do it by sampling a color. Whatever gives you the look that you like. I think a little more to the orange. So I could just do it by eye, something like that. So one of the reasons I love to do all of these separate color grading layers is so that you can mix and match, because many schools have multiple colors, you know, usually at least two, and so you can mix and match that. You could do it all the same color. It's basically whatever you'd like to do. So for other colors, if you wanted to turn the upper particles on, again, there's a color control for that, so you could tweak all of those colors. You know, everything's going to be able to colorize to match what you need. Now the text color, let's look at, it's not going to be as prevalent on the light theme, but let's take a quick look at the dark theme. If we turn dark back on, there is one last place to point out a color change, and that's going to be on the text. So there's an outer glow on this text that has some color in it as well. So just to show you the difference, if we turn these color layers on here, we can see that this is still blue on this outer glow. We can turn our particle color on here as well. So the outer glow on the text, we're just going to double click that, and then it's going to bring us right up to our screen effect here on our outer glow. We're just going to click this color, and then you could simply click over here if you wanted to match and sample that color, or you could pick any color out of the swatch that you wanted. So that's a real easy way to change that text glow color. And then of course your bottom text is simply normal text, so you're just going to select it, select your color swatch, and again, you could sample a color, you could pick a new color, all very kind of standard settings there. So we could even go down, let's open up our dark theme, let's match our ball up better. So if we wanted to go with this kind of red theme here, we're going to come down to our line color on the balls. And then there's a little ball highlight color there, which it affects all those little highlights. You can see glowing against the ball there. So again, that's just going to be a hue saturation tweak there like that. So, hope this helps and gives you a good little walkthrough here. I think you'll find it's very easy to use, very easy to make those color changes, especially if you're sampling color using that hslpicker.com tool. Alright, thanks. Hope you have a lot of success with this one.